Hello, everybody, and welcome back. If you saw the last episode, you know we're working on this bean harvest down here. Looks like, do we get stuck? Oh, it thinks it's done. Okay, you're not done. And I think what we're gonna do in this episode is a little bit of math. I know you probably didn't sign up. You didn't click on this video hoping to do math, but let me explain what's going on here. So we want to buy a few things. Well, first, the big thing we want to buy is this tractor. We can't afford that. $88,000 is way too much. But since we have all that straw laying on the ground, I was thinking maybe we would buy a baler. In this case, baler would go with our theme, and it's 30 grand. So what we could do is lease it for, $1,500. But we know we're going to need bales. The main problem that we have is that we don't have a tractor with a front loader to handle the bales. So we would be baling up stuff that we wouldn't be able to move. So I might look and see if I can get like a 3-point hitch, bale spike, something along those lines. But the reason I said this is about math is if you look in the top right corner, we have 27,000. And if we do this contract here for field 2, plowing field 2, we get almost 5 grand, which will give us enough to buy the baler. So we are going to accept the contract. Now you're probably wondering, where's field 2? It's right here. It's literally this field. So remember it had potatoes on it, and I was like, I don't want to buy that field. Well, now we get to work it. So I'm going to, at very least, do the headland myself, and then I may put a worker on it. We should still make money, even if we don't do all of the work ourselves. So I'm going to assume that it will give us plowing status for this. We should get to, whatever it'll be, like the 10% mark probably by the time we get back around here. AI worker E has a full grain tank. Okay, let me tab over and handle that. So we already have 4,400 in here. I'll probably take this up and put it in the silo. Remember, this field 10 is ours. We own this. So we want to get the straw off of here, make a stack of bales, and take them to sell. Sorry, I know this bothers the purists to have me driving the crop, but it's just easier than firing the worker, moving the combine, and all that. So you should be able to fit the rest of it in the tank, I would think. Maybe one and a little bit extra, but it should be able to fit the rest. So I'm going to go ahead and run this up to our silo. I looked in the last episode. If we were to sell this straight off the field, we would lose a lot of money. I mean, it's going to basically double between now and when we sell it in like January. So to hold on to the crop for just a few months to be able to make that much more money, just, we want to be able to buy that bigger tractor. We have a lot of plans. So now, will it keep going if I tab away? I don't think it does. Nope. Gotta stay in it, which is fine. I really like our setup so far. I've been looking to see. We've been getting pretty good numbers on this series, so thank you guys for supporting. But I haven't had a lot of comments, so I would love to hear what people think of the tractors and the plans. What do you think about this kind of unconventional layout? I don't think this is where the map maker intended for people to build, or the style, but I'm enjoying it, so I'd love to know what you guys think. All right. So we're going to have I don't know what our total yield is going to be, but should be a decent yield on those soybeans, and then a nice open field. I don't know if I'll be able to get all this done in October or not, but we'll have to look and see what month would be good to put in another crop. Decide what we want to do with field 10. So we have our little field, and then field 10. So looking good, feeling good. I like this. I like that this field is a little bit unconventional shape. I don't know that I want to buy it, but I am glad we get at least one opportunity to work it here. There's some pretty cool fields back this road, but they're huge, so I don't know that it really makes sense for us to buy any of those. I keep going back and forth about whether I want to try to buy a timber plot on this save. We don't really need to do anything crazy. We could just lease a trailer, and I want to say I remember seeing a case skid steer somewhere. And if that's true, we could buy a case skid steer with front loader attachers on it, or skid steer attachments on it, and we could use that I don't know. We'll see. What are we digging into here? Keep it moving. I know it's a little bit uphill, but shouldn't be enough to bog it down to 4 miles an hour. But if we got a skid steer we could get a bale spike and then a log grab. That could be good. Sometimes I feel like the logs don't pay enough, and sometimes I feel like they're too overpowered. Kind of depends where in the playthrough you are and how much time you're willing to put in with them. The combine should be getting done here any minute, I would think. I was gonna take a picture of this, but we already have a few. There's a cool setup though. I like this tractor a lot. It's just nice to finally get to use it. Oh, there we go. We're at 10%. We're at 10% as I go crooked. So that's good to know that it's counting it as plowing. I would be so mad if I did all this and didn't get credit for it. But what I was saying is it's nice to use this tractor because, there's sometimes you see things like in social media or whatever, and you think, wow, that's a really cool piece of equipment. I'd like to use that. But it just doesn't fit what you're doing. So you don't want to just plop it down and whatever save. And this was kind of like, I really like that old case, the 930 or whatever it is. tricycle front end. I just love the look of that one, and I was like, boy, I really want to use both of those tractors. Why don't I do a case theme? And I did see the message that the combine is at 80%, so we'll go deal with that. I'm going to get this guy going here. I'm going to come up to the bend, and then I think once I turn it, I'll do up and down the field. So we should have a little triangle here in the corner. Alright, it's going to be a corner there too, which is fine. So, oh wow. this delay makes me laugh. Hope we can get this all in before it starts to rain. It doesn't tell you exactly how long each stage of that weather is, but hopefully buy us a little bit of time. That's pretty decent unload speed. Sorry about that. Oh, don't go too far because we're going to want to unload again. Contract on field 2 is 20% complete. Oh, nice. Did that little snippet there. Alright, we'll go ahead and say thank you. Doing this a little more farm manager style rather than pure solo playthrough. But if we get this $5,000 and then we can buy the baler, we can use the baler to bale up the straw, and we can hopefully sell the straw for a little bit of money. That should be a fair bit of straw, and we're not going to need straw for the types of animals that we're getting. So we'll sell the straw until we get enough money to buy, I don't know, maybe we shouldn't worry about the straw for now. Maybe we should get our sheep going, because then they'll bring us wool, and the wool we can sell. We don't need a lot more to make this farm viable. If the front loader, because I think we tried a front loader on here and it didn't work. Am I misremembering? I can't remember if I did that on here or not. But I think I did try it and it didn't work. So then I was like, oh, we won't worry about it. But We need a front loader tractor on this farm. We just do. Okay, I should have known you weren't actually done. Oops. That was not the right button. I don't know how many bales this is going to make, but it seems like a pretty decent chunk. So that's why I don't want to just, plow it under. Plus, it's kind of cool. I don't know if I've ever made soybean straw. I don't know if that's unique to the map or what, but pretty nice. I feel like the wise thing to do is probably to just let it be. Not buy the baler right away. And keep doing contracts until we can we need to get the sheep going. But we have this harvester leased. So I don't know if maybe we get a harvesting contract. What's field 12? Oh, that's sunflowers. Okay, well that's out of the picture then. I don't know. Alright, he's doing good. 30%. Maybe we just keep going with this for a little bit longer and not buy the baler. I can't decide, guys. Can you tell I can't decide? I have a hard time figuring out what jobs are worth the money. Do you know what I mean? Like when you do multiple parts of a job, you plant you harvest, you fertilize, you harvest, and you make like 8,000. Or you can do contracts and make pretty good money. It's it's hard to know what's really the best job. And at one point I was thinking that these jobs are designed so that however many $1,000, I think it was something like for every $5,000 expect 15 minutes of like real time working. So that means if that metric is correct, then this job would be a 15-minute job. And it feels like it's going to be close to that. Maybe a little bit more. This might be more like a 20-minute job. So that means when you get like one of these big jobs that's pays 20 grand, that's going to take you an hour IRL time. So is it worth it? 20 grand is really hard to make. So maybe it is. But you get the idea. We're going to get this done. We'll cash it in. We'll have about 32,000, and then we'll have to decide whether we want to save that up towards the bigger tractor we want to get, or whether we want to go ahead and lease a baler or buy the baler and bale the field. What I might do between now and the next episode is see about getting a bale spike that runs off of the 3-point hitch. But then you run into the problem of we don't just need to move the bales, we need to put them on a trailer and haul them to sell them. So, what kind of trailer could we get with the equipment that we have? And, maybe we take like a temporary loan to be able to buy a trailer, and then use that trailer both for the bales, but then we would also have it for hauling wood, so we can have a way to make money over the winter. Because I can't remember how much the sheep pen is going to be, but if we're going to buy sheep and a pen, then we need to solve the grass question. So many unknowns. I really like this setup though. It's a good size. Nice small to medium. Definitely suits my playing style. The C for camera and the V for pick up the plow are right beside each other. So sorry about that. Oh, I should have kept going at that other angle, because this is the hill that it didn't like when I made this turn. Seem to do alright with that angle. Let's try this one. Yeah, it's fine. It doesn't mind the hill. It's the turning with the hill combination that it didn't like. It's got plenty of horsepower for this job. Sorry, now I haven't really been narrating. I'm just enjoying the tractor and the setup. If you could do me a favor, if you are still watching the episode at the 26-minute mark, just let me know down in the comments. I'm curious. I have enjoyed the viewer numbers here on this series, but I'm always wondering, is this somebody who clicks on because they like the thumbnail or whatever, and then they click away, or are these, people that stick around and like to see how the farm develops over time? Because that's my favorite part of the game. It's not just it's not just buying the biggest, fanciest, coolest new machinery and going out and making a massive farm. I enjoy the story unfolding of a farm. You don't necessarily have the same kind of characters as a fiction book, but you get a story that unfolds. The tractors are stories, the animals are stories, the work can be stories. And it's a good experience. I'm not sure how I feel about this, if this is worth the $5,000 or not. The spraying, or the fertilizing rather, seems to be the way to go. I think we're gonna look for more of that work. Because, you can get a couple grand for what is basically like 3 minutes worth of work. This seems like a genuinely longer job. Alright, well I think I'll go ahead and finish this contract off recording, and I will bring you guys back for the rest of October, and hopefully I'll have my mind made up on what we want to do financially. I'm leaning towards getting the sheep pen up and running. I don't know what we're gonna do to get the grass to them. Maybe we can find a skid steer with a bucket, or maybe we'll just temporarily lease a square baler and I can make a few thousand liters worth of, I don't know. Maybe I'll lease a loading wagon too. Somehow we'll find a way to get some sheep, get them fed, and we'll go from there. Thank you so much for watching this episode, for supporting the channel, and we'll see you in the next one. This is Blue Belly Farms. Bye for now.